Is a steering damper worth it on a 698? Let's go guys, welcome back. Yes, we're in the garage, more bits and more parts going on the bike, and you would have seen the little intro. Yes, we are going to be pissing around with the steering damper today, but first let's get over to the bench and see what's in the box. Let's go. Yes, you know the score. Manny from Motor Million has sent us over some more parts for the bike. Cheers Manny, happy days, lovely jubbly. And yes, Ducabike, we have the Ohlins steering damper, finally. We've got one of these. I've been itching to get these on the bike, and let's just see what's the mounting kit that's going to be in this. Looks like there's some, oh, there's a little collar, and there appears to be lots of bits and bobs to fit to the bike. I hear you guys saying, well, what's the point of a steering damper? What is it going to do, and what benefit is it going to have on our 698? So let's just go and find out what a steering damper does in the first place. Bit of science, eh? Let's do a bit of science. So the purpose of a steering damper is like, it acts like, think of it as like a suspension. Now you've got the forks here that go up and down that control the suspension this way. This damper works in a similar fashion, but in sideways. So it's like it's a suspension for the handlebars. So it provides resistance to the steering, and it helps prevent, you know, this dangerous phenomenon called tank slapper or tank wobble. And I'll put some clips of what I mean by them. The other time you can probably get some sort of a, let's just say tank slapper's a bit of a fucking exaggeration, but the only time you can get it, so like, you know, if you're wheeling and you're, obviously I can't wheelie, but I'll put some clips of people wheeling, supple badness, gangster, clutch first, gangster. Some wheelies can go wrong. And obviously when the front wheel's landing and it's coming down, you can get this wobble. So this in essence is supposed to help in those situations. And how it works is, like I said, it contains a piston moving through an oil-filled cylinder. As the handlebars move, it forces oil through small holes in here, which creates resistance. And then you can control that resistance with the notches to how much oil and the force and the speed that goes through the holes. And that's what the adjustments are for. So I've obviously gone through the Ducabike kits. I have watched the CNC do a similar kit to this. Obviously this is the same, but they do a different mounting onto the bike. I'll put a link in the video to that one. That's done by the top guy, D Magnus 425. He's done an excellent video on fitting the CNC steering damper to this. I looked at that option and thought, nah bruv. I looked at the instructions on this. I'll put a screenshot of the instructions, and it's a lot simpler. They're trying to fit this one. So let's get started. Right, so we've got to get the seat off. 2 bolts there, easy. We then got to take the fairing off. We've got to get the gas cap off. We've got to get this cover off. We've got to take this cover off. And then I think the actual tank, the fuel tank's underneath, I think we have to lift the tank up a bit. We may need to take it off, hopefully not, but I think you just got to lift it up to get to some bolts underneath there. So let's get all this easy stuff off to start with. One there. Okay, once you got to here and the fairings are off, we need to move the tank. So what you need to do is, there's one bolt there, there's one there, there's one there. When you take this top one off, there's another one underneath that you got to take out underneath. So 1, 2, 3, because what we're trying to get to is that bolt and that bolt. So for me, this all came out as one. So I think that is supposed to come off, and then you're supposed to be able to take this one off, but a bit crusty down there. But yeah, if it comes off in one on both sides, don't worry about it. Next is to this little fuel hose. Just get that off. I just pinched them with some pliers and slowly wiggled it off. Yeah, and then hopefully the trick now is to somehow lift the tank, just maneuver it a little bit at the back, maneuver it a little bit front, and just be able to just slide it back out the way so that you can just get underneath there. So I'll try that. Right, can you, if I lift this up now, that's the plug. Can you see now? There's the plug on the left, and that's the fuel line on the right. So you can literally get your finger underneath there like that, how I've just got my finger, and you can unplug that plug. That's that plug out of the way, so you can just get that out of the way. There's the little flick on the end, the bottom on the end. You can just touch that and get that off. Okay, we didn't need to disconnect that. I've sort of just lifted the tank up, shimmied it over to the left, and I've got it like balanced like this. So we still, the fuel line's still connected. This is obviously the top bit of the engine. I think that's the ECU there. So you see, I've just got the tank lifted, and I've got it almost like sitting on an angle. So it's just resting on there, and it's just sitting on the side. It's not damaging anything. And weirdly, I can get my hand underneath, and I can get to that bolt and that bolt from here. So, okay, let's do that again. Get yourself a towel. Leave that clipped in for the moment. I couldn't be arsed. I couldn't be bothered to take it off. There's enough space to actually lift the tank completely up and over. So as you can see, I've actually got a lot of access now. I can get to those 2 bolts. So I've literally just got the tank rested, supported with some bungee cords here like this. You can see the fuel line is actually just goes down there. So fuel line's actually all right. It's nothing leaking. Obviously don't do this with the full tank, because obviously when you move it around, it will leak out of there. I had a bit of a spillage on the floor, but at least I can get to that now. There you go, I can get to it now. Right, little tip. If it ain't coming out, or it's struggling to go, or before you start rounding it, or you think you're gonna round it, just get yourself a little heat gun and heat it up a bit and let the glue melt on the other side. And then it will slowly start turning, so don't fucking round it, right? Else you'll be knackered.
A few moments later.
Right, you should get to here, both of them out. That one was a bit of a pain in the arse to fucking get out. But persist, take your time. I've bloody heating this up, fucking burnt some of this off. But yeah, so you should be able to get to at least here, so you can get that off and have it like that. You probably might notice there's probably a piece still stuck in there, but don't worry about that. As long as this is out, that's the main thing. So let's get over to the Ducabike part. So the part we need first is this piece, and then we're gonna put that on the bike, but need to take these 2 bolts off because they're longer. You get that piece, and then you mount it in that position like that. Obviously those 2 holes will be the screws, the bolts that go back through, and that literally just goes in like that. And then obviously you put the 2 bolts back in. These are the top bits that's going to mount, so stick a bit of Loctite on them, and let's get that on. Okay, so you should be in this position now with that on. You reuse the OEM bolts that came out of there, stuck a bit of blue Loctite on it, and just tighten them down. And then we can reassemble. I had the tank just facing the backwards because it was just easier. Reassemble the tank. I think we can get pretty much all the fairings and stuff back on, so let's put the tank back. There you go, tank back on. I just got to put that hose back on, but bolted there, secured there, plug clipped back in there, all nice. And then we'll just get the fairings and everything back on, and then we can fiddle around with how to do the rest of that. Fairings, everything's back on, everything bolted up fine. Look, everything's sitting nice and flush. So now we need to get that part onto there. So what we're left with is that part's got to go on that I've just showed on the bike. This thing's got to go onto that's got to go onto there, and then I've just sort of put this together. This is going to then sit along the top with that 1 bolt. Yeah, so let's get this part on. There you go. So this mounts this way. This bit goes up and almost comes close to the headstock. So what we've got to do is tighten these up with a bit of blue Loctite. Okay, so to get this piece on, which has to be like that with the DBK facing you, this is going to go in there and replace that, but there is a longer bolt, so you take these 2 off, bit of Loctite, and then put the new bolts on. All right, we're at this position now. That's mounted there, that's there. Now what we've got to do is put the actual steering damper across. So that is how you fit this on. So the DBK, the Ohlins is facing away from you, the DBK is like upside down. You just slide it on, loosen these, put it in the middle-ish somewhere. That bolt and that piece of rubber, the rubber goes on that side once it goes through, bit of Loctite, and then that goes through that side on what we just mounted on the bike. So let's just try fit this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that looks pretty much okay. So obviously that you need to bolt that one down. You need to tighten them up so they can clamp on this. You need to tighten that one up, and then all you do is from this position is just fiddle around with this. So when you turn the steering wheel, so like all the way to the left, there you go, look, there's still a bit left there, okay, and it's not catching anywhere there, look, see, it's all right, there's still a gap. And then when you do the other side, there you go, there's still a gap there as well, and it's not catching anywhere down there. So that is where you need to have it positioned. So you loosen this, and then you just move this around a little bit till it's just right. And then now we just need to torque it all down to spec and then sort my wire out. And then that should be it. Okay, looking good. The last little bit left to do is to adjust it. So what it says is, okay, so clockwise is hard and anti-clockwise is soft. And it says there's 18 clicks. So let's just see where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so about 13. So I want to try, I'm going to set it in the middle to start with. So I'm just going to, so all I've got to do is literally from here just go 9 back, because that'll be the middle of 18. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, that's in the middle. And the trick is now, let's try and go out for a test ride and check it out. Right then, ladies and gents. Yes, steering damper is on. I'm trying this new camera position just to see if we can get a bit of footage of this and the road and stuff. Just going to try it out. And I am just going to go out on a little ride. Just some back roads really. Just try and find some back roads, some bobbly roads, some bouncy roads. Just to see if this... I don't know whether I'm going to feel anything straight away, but just to see if it hasn't made anything worse. Still feels alright. I will say though, since I've fitted all this Ducabike stuff around the front, I suppose these protectors, the bars just seem to be a bit more buzzy. I just feel it already, I feel a bit buzzy. But in terms of the steering damper, and the install was very straightforward, as you've seen in the video, so quite like that. Oh, the tractor, fucking hell, well, it's horrible. And I've just got it set in the middle setting at the moment, so just trying to see if I can hit some bumps, some potholes, some crap in the road. I'm still running with the Austin Racing cans, with the baffle and the decat system, with the 2 dongles. It seems to be doing its job. Easy, just do that. Softened the suspension off after my track day, so everything has gone back to the softest settings on everything, with just 1 turn back on. Yeah, this is my comfy setting. I like this setting. Feels good. Obviously I can't test any wheelies and smackdowns and with the front landing, is it stable or not? I'm not there yet. I haven't got that skill level, but at least I've got a bit of extra safety with this. My iOS 26 update has somehow I need to relink my Apple CarPlay and turn some smart zoom shit off, because all the icons are fucking tiny. Can't complain. Feels good. Road mode. Oh, there's a giveaway junction here. Which way should we go? Let's just go right. Oi! Front end just came up over that little crest. Felt nice. So yeah guys, if you're going to go for this mod, make sure you hook up my man, Manny from Moto Million. Use my HK, use my Hype King discount code. The man ships all around the world. Get all your kit from him, and you'll be doing me a favour and obviously him a favour as well by supporting both of us. So you know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe, and the next couple of weeks I will be going back to Slovenia to go and pay my respects to my good friend Gogo, who passed away. So may not be a video for a few weeks while a bunch of us go back and do what we need to do. So yeah, you the usual guys, thanks for watching and over and out.